Hello and welcome back to Seahawk Central. I'm Stephanie Rodriguez.
And I'm Dylan Thompson.
Today we have a full rundown of updates from a shooting in downtown Wilmington to protests, SGA elections, a debate hosted by TealTV, and a lecture with an NC Award-winning author. We've got the full scoop just ahead.
And over in sports, we have a roundup of the post and regular season in men and women's basketball, continuous winning weekends in UNCW baseball and softball, a captured win in track and field, and a rally finish over at the tennis courts.
The Wilmington Police Department is investigating a fatal officer-involved shooting that occurred on March 8th in a downtown parking garage where a man was shot and killed after a police encounter. The State Bureau of Investigation have identified the man as 21-year-old Edilberto Espinosa Sierra. According to WPD, officers were called to the scene after a man was found with a gunshot wound. Witnesses pointed them to Espinosa's vehicle, which fit the suspect's description. Espinosa refused to comply and drove off, struck another vehicle, to which officers fired multiple shots in response. Espinosa was not the suspect they were looking for, and according to his family, he was unarmed. According to WECT's interview with Espinosa's family, they believe he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. ILM Action, Wilmington's nonpartisan activist organization, organized a vigil and peaceful protest on March 14th to give Espinosa's family a safe space to speak to the public. The demonstration took place right after the St. Patrick's Day Parade in downtown Wilmington, where dozens of people took to the streets in support.
We are here to protest because we don't want this happen to other families. We are protesting because we need justice. We don't receive any notice from the Wilmington Police Department or SBI to what happened to my nephew. So we are here protesting because of that. So we don't want that for other families. He doesn't deserve to die like that. Too many children. To one person? No, it's not just. The Wilmington Police Department answer our questions because we stay here for 6 hours asking, recognize the body, and they don't let us to recognize. Yes, we stay here standing parking garage while his body was there inside the parking garage. We was outside.
Espinosa's family is seeking justice, and the officers involved in the shooting have been placed on paid administrative leave until the outcome of the investigation. SGA elections are now open for voting. Polls will be open now until Thursday, March 19th at 3 p.m. TealTV hosted a debate featuring Tucker Hall as the host and Lee Danks as a moderator, representing the Dialectics and Ethical Parliamentary Society, UNCW's debate club. So before you cast your vote, be sure to check out the full video on YouTube at UNCW TealTV to know exactly what leaders you're voting for. Now we'll turn it over to Caroline for more on an award-winning author and a lecture hosted by UNCW's English department.
Thanks, Stephanie. On the Wednesday evening before spring break, the UNCW English department hosted a powerful voice from the western part of our state to the coast. Award-winning author David Joy brought his blend of Southern tradition and modern storytelling to the Catherine K. Buckner Lecture. Joy began the evening by introducing the crowd to his work, reading an excerpt from one of his novels. As a 12th-generation North Carolinian, his roots deeply influence all 5 of his books. He shared with the crowd that his most recent release took over 10 years to fully write. His dedication has reached far beyond the page. One of his novels was recently adapted into a feature film starring Billy Bob Thornton. Following the reading, Joy was accompanied by Dr. Allison Harris for a Q&A session where he dived into the deeper themes behind his writing. He explores the complexities of modern life, tackling the kind of deep-rooted social themes that challenge readers to see the world from new perspectives. During the discussion, Joy told the audience, quote, "Art is an instrument of potential change." He spoke candidly about the challenge of bridging different life experiences, such as writing from a perspective outside of his own, noting that reading is the best way to gain insight into other cultures. Before wrapping up, the author gave the audience a sneak peek at his next project, an upcoming book titled Del Rio. For more information on the Buckner Lecture Series, you can visit the UNCW English Department website. Stephanie.
Thanks, Caroline. Now we'll swing things over to Dylan for more on sports.
Kicking things off this week in sports, we begin with hoop season and the women's basketball team who finished their season in the CAA tournament this past week in Washington, D.C. The women entered the tournament last Wednesday and were able to advance past the first round with a nail-biting 51-50 victory. The women quickly turned to other CAA opponent in Monmouth. However, despite the great fight, our Seahawks fell in the second round. The women this season battled through injuries and adversity and showed their fight until the very end. A huge thank you to all our seniors in McCall King, all CAA guard Rory Cox, Kate Hollyfield, and Mary Ferrito. We thank you for your leadership and wish you the best in your bright futures ahead. Over to the men, their postseason is not over yet. The UNCW men's basketball team finished with a 26-5 regular season record to claim the CAA regular season title. With this title, the Seahawks claimed the top seed in their conference tournament. However, it seems seeding did not quite matter. In their first matchup against CAA opponent Campbell, the Hawks struggled to find buckets in the second half against a 16-0 run for the Camels. This drought forced pressure on the Teal and led to a shocking loss in the Seahawks' first-round appearance in the tournament. Despite the early loss, the men were able to draw luck for a spot in the National Invitational Tournament, better known as the NIT. UNCW will look to make its 12th postseason appearance and third under Coach Siddle, a statement as they kick off the tournament early this week with an opening matchup against Yale. Over to the diamond in baseball, the winning wings for the Hawks are in full effect. Following an early season loss against ECU in the beginning of March, the Hawks have stepped to the plate and are making a clear statement. Since the loss, the Hawks have won their last 7 straight games, including series wins against Elon and Jacksonville, along with a solo matchup win against Charleston Southern. In this 7-game win streak, the Hawks have amounted as a scoring threat, outscoring opponents 69-18, including 2 7-inning run finishes. And to no surprise, this effort gave 2 Seahawks CAA Weekly Awards, with Bromley Thornton as Pitcher of the Week and Mason Hughes Player of the Week. As they wrapped up the series against Elon, it came in a variety from a late-inning walk-off to dominance on the plate and the mound. In similar fashion on the diamond, our UNCW softball is soaring into a winning streak as well. In a road weekend series against North Carolina A&T, freshman Camille Hamilton kicked off the weekend in fashion. Hamilton's effort on the mound recorded the first perfect game in program history, as well as the 7th no-hitter for the Hawks en route to an 8-0 rule victory. In games 2 and 3, it was the bat of Becca Merrick and others collecting 17 total runs in the 2-game span. Merrick's single in Game 2 pushed the lead to the Teal and was never given back. Cassidy Relay, Madison Biddle, and Corbin Allison finished with a multi-hit game against the Aggies. Game 3 went to UNCW with a collective 10 hits, where 9 Seahawks collected a hit en route to a 7-3 Game 3 win and sweep. Over on the track, our women's track team ran away with the Myrtle Beach Collegiate Challenge with 5 event wins for our Seahawks. This event also led to a 3rd-place finish for our men, with Cameron Wright and Lucas Smith adding a gold finish in the 400-meter and 110-meter hurdle. Congrats, guys. Rounding out our sports at the tennis court, women's tennis flew past Queens in shutout fashion. In the doubles matches, the Hawks were victorious in back-to-back 6-2 wins in singles. Etta Arley posted 2 6-4 wins, followed by shutdown single wins from Alicia Erbrun and Gabby Glickstein. In CAA play for the men, it was Oscar Baumgartner with the clutch gene. Oscar went 3-0 against William Mary, including a 6-1 third set to win and seal the winning point. And that about wraps up our time here on Seahawk Central.
If you have any newsworthy stories, email us at seahawkcentralnews@gmail.com.
And make sure to stay up to date with all UNCW sports by following at Seahawk Central Sports _UNCW for updates and future exclusive content for the 2026 year. I'm Dylan Thompson with sports.
And I'm Stephanie Rodriguez with your news. We'll see you next week.